Well, hello there, welcome. It is episode 312. We are live. It's ProSynth Network. This is, as I said, it's 312, which is technically, as I think we're like, the Queen or the King here in the UK. We celebrate two birthdays. This is numerically our sixth year birthday.
Anniversary.
312 shows. Divide that by 52, you get 6. So this would have been possibly the first show, the first test show. But then there is kind of an official start date. But anyway, let's just celebrate a birthday. 6 years we've been doing this rubbish.
Yeah.
And here we are still going, which is amazing to nobody more than myself. Welcome to the show. Anyway, let's get on with it. I don't know why, because there's not a lot to talk about this week. Well, there's lots to talk about, but not a lot of variety, shall we say. So we'll crack on with all the usual stuff. But thank you for joining us. I hope you are well. This is a slightly more comfortable and relaxed environment that we were in last week when we were getting ready to start Synth Southwest down in Dawlish. We are all rested, recovered mostly. So the age thing is certainly showing these days. But no, we'll be doing lots of talk and looking back at the events of last week in Dawlish for what was a fantastic weekend. And there's very little news to talk about. There's one particular thing that I think we'll maybe have a long discussion around. We'll do some of that. If you are a first-time viewer, maybe you came to Synth Southwest in Dawlish and you scanned that massive QR code that was at the back of the hall that I left there overnight on Saturday. Thanks, Peter, for getting that. If you're a first-time viewer because you scanned the code and you discovered us because of that event, welcome. This is what it's all about. This is what we do every week that has culminated in us doing our first live show. So welcome, and I hope you stick around. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you can. That would be very, very useful. It costs you nothing. You don't have to have the notifications, but if you don't want to miss anything, it's best to turn those on. But do give us a subscribe. That would really help us. And there's been a load of subscribers in the last 7 days, a heck of a lot. So welcome, one and all. Thank you for joining. And we hope that you enjoy what we do every week on a Friday night at 7 p.m. UK time. For our American viewers, by the way, this is the last week where we are shifted by an hour because this Sunday we're all losing an hour in bed because we moved to daylight savings. Basically, the rest of the world goes. So for our American viewers, from next week, we'll be back to the usual time difference. So I think it's 11 a.m. on the West Coast and 2 p.m. on the East Coast from next week onwards. So the best way to avoid any of that shenanigans is to subscribe, and that way you get the notifications of exactly when the show's going to be on, regardless of who's on what time zone. It's very useful. Very useful. Anyway, give us a subscribe if you like. Give us a like if you like as well. Give us a thumbs up. During the show, apparently it works better. So if you like us and you're watching us, give us a thumbs up. If you're watching after the fact, still give us a thumbs up. That would be most appreciated. And if you want to comment during the show, you can do so through the YouTube comments. You can do it through the Facebook comments and through the Twitch comments. They're the 3 platforms that we stream on, so we see all of those come in. Please do get involved with the show. If you have a question, stick a big capital Q on the front of your question. It just helps us pick it out and put it into the right pot for us to pull out at the appropriate time. Vicar. Anyway, so give us a like, comment, subscribe, and of course, if you know somebody who would enjoy this kind of thing and they don't already watch, then share the link around. Please tell them about us, and let's get some more people in here. But we always have a good crowd, so welcome everyone in the chat. Of course, you can support us. We are completely self-funding, so we're funded by you, basically making donations every week. We've had some cracking donations over the last few weeks from a bunch of people. That all goes to help keep the lights on and pay the bills. But you can also help us by joining our Patreon page. It's a minimum $2 a month. And what it does is it gets you access to a whole bunch of goodies. So it can be presets for your hardware synthesizers or your software synthesizers. They're a decent sampler instrument, so you don't need to pay anything for these. The Decent Sampler program is completely free of charge, and we've got a whole bunch of instruments of varying degrees of various genres and various styles. There's sound effects, there's synthesizers, there's drum machines, all sorts of stuff there. You can avail yourself of all of that content, plus exclusive video content that you might not see on the main YouTube channel, or you see ad-free. So there's a benefit there. So there's loads of great stuff to have for just a minimum of $2 a month over the Patreon page, and the link is right there, prosynthnetwork.com/Patreon. And of course, you can also join our YouTube channel as a channel member. Same deal, minimum $2 a month, and you get all of those goodies as well. So either way, you can join, whichever you prefer. You can help us keep the lights on by doing that. You can also go and check out our merchandise store, where you can buy all sorts of items of clothing and accessories and wall art and all that kind of stuff. And there'll be a few new things going up in the next few weeks. Things that we didn't sell maybe at Synth Southwest, like some of the T-shirts and the baseball caps we've got. We've also got some badges and things, and we've got the fabulous desk art that Kent and Fiona produced. So we've got a few of those left because we sold a few at the show, so that was really cool. So yeah, merchandise galore, and again, we're able to take a little bit off the top of each sale to fund the show. If during the week you are missing your weekly fix of interacting with the rest of the crowd here, you can just pop over to our Discord channel, completely free. You don't need to join or pay anything for this one. prosynthnetwork.com/Discord, and there's loads of channels in there that you can talk about specific things. So please do, if you are that way inclined, go and join us at the Discord. And of course, we are all over most of the social media channels: YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, Twitch, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Facebook is kind of, I think, where most of us congregate, but YouTube as well. And the others will get occasional mentions or look-ins, like the Instagram. You know, we post a few things on there, and that in turn, I think, populates Threads as well. But if you want to interact with us at social media levels, then there it is. We're across all of those. So thank you very much for that. What's coming up this week? Well, we've got a massive collection of panelists today. I don't want to call them guests because they're all regulars anyway. But yes, we have a full panel, which will hopefully pad the show out nicely, because there's not been vast amounts of synthesizer and music technology related news. We are in that dip now where every manufacturer and developer is just holding on to their things until Super Booth and the first weekend in May. And then all hell will break loose, and it'll be a complete opposite, and we'll be struggling to keep up. But there you go. Let's bring in our panelists who will talk through the subjects of the day.
Hold on. What?
No.
There's a donation. There's a donation.
No. Who's running the show?
But it's just from a favourite.
Right, he's muted. Now then, let's crack on. Let's bring in the people in the panelists. Honestly, mate.
He's like a puppy.
I just want to hear you say it. That's it. I just want to hear you say it.
How are you?
I'm gonna sulk until I hear you say it.
No.
All right. How are you?
All right, not too bad.
Good.
Did you get home all right?
I did. I managed to get everything built back up again, all the bits and pieces, and just been, finishing off all the things that we need to finish off, and starting to edit, So yeah, good. We're in a good place.
Nice one. Good stuff. Great to see you. Well, it's the first time we've actually physically met, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It was. Yeah. Do you know what? Seeing so many people down there, we'll come to this, I'm sure, but seeing so many people who I've, whose names I know but have never actually met was quite brilliant. It was really quite brilliant. It was a special time, and I hope we're going to do this many more times.
Fingers crossed. If we have it in us.
Well, there is that.
But good to see you and your ski poles on the weekend, and thanks for doing the thing that we'll talk about a little bit later on, which will culminate next week, and more on that later on as well. Indeed. Somebody who was also there, but not in person, but always in spirit, or in spirits, or imbibing of spirits, was our very own Mr. Kent Spong. Good evening, sir.
Hello.
Hello. Have you got everything sorted out then now? Has it all stopped triggering and whatever it was doing?
Beep, boop, 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 beep. It ended up, it came up with
a
a
pacemaker.
magnifier. Magnifier suddenly appeared on the Slate Raven. And it was the red dot with the cross in it to close the window. And it was taking up the whole screen. I'm going, no, there's something wrong here.
You think?
Yeah. Yes, so it wrote about 4 or 5 MIDI tracks by itself.
Nice.
Yeah, but I couldn't get it to shut down, so I had to hurt it. Essentially.
Well, anyway, good to see you.
Yes, thank you.
Busy week fixing. I know you've been fixing things.
Well, no, I've been stabbing blindly in the dark.
All right, okay.
Mostly for most of the week, rather than actually anything getting actually fixed. So yeah. So my bank account looks like Trump's IQ at the moment. It's not good, and I really need to get them working. You know, it's not good. So I've been fighting. Well, you know that JP8.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I found out what's wrong, and I spoke to 2 different techs today about it, and they've gone, "Muh?" Which I found actually quite helpful. It means it's not just me then. So
yeah.
And incidentally, I understand our doctor Mike Medley is in the charts. In the charts. Fuck it. What is it with me and words like?
I don't know.
In the chat, I have sourced him his CS80 paddle pot.
There you go.
For him because he wishes to examine one closely.
As you do.
As you do. So I've sourced him one. So all he's got to do is send me his address, and I can.
We can always take it to Berlin.
And it will come in a jiffy. Oh wait, not the post. It will arrive by post.
Lovely stuff.
Indeed.
Good to see you as always.
Andrew.
Thank you very much. Let's move swiftly along. Let's go up north to the land of Scots and bring in Mr. Scott McAuley
Evening
of
all.
Scotland.
Hi, up, lads.
How you doing?
I'm all right. How are yourselves?
Yeah, not too bad. You've been a busy boy this week, I see. Not one, but 2 banks for the form.
Yes,
And,
yeah.
And then you, just like as a curveball, throw out a new bank for the multi-poly.
It's not out yet.
Oh, it's not out yet.
No. The multi-poly's not out yet. I'm just in the midst of programming that one. So I think I've had a bit of a change of direction with that today. I'll still be working on the multi-poly, but I think I'll be working on 2 different banks at the same time for it. So it'll probably be 2 releases for that as well. And then, there seems to be a lot of requests for me to continue on and do more Korg stuff, prologue and mini log. So.
Volume 3.
I don't like this talk of doing other things. What do we have to do?
Korg who?
Of Korg he is.
So it's been steady away, and more commission work came in this week, which is good because it had been quite a quiet sales month. But it usually is. March is usually quite a bad month with it being end of financial year, and I don't think the current climate with war and fuel prices and everything helps much just now. People don't have that much spare cash.
Very true.
So but it's good to see the commission work continuing to come in. That was a good one that came in today, so that's cheered me up a bit.
Nice stuff.
Right.
So all good.
Good, lovely stuff. Thank you very much for joining us. Look
Cheers,
forward to
good to see you.
chatting with you later on. Joined by his delightful pussycat. It's Mr. Jason Jervis.
Fatty
there he
is,
is.
isn't he? Look at him.
Look at that monster. That big ball of floof.
He's completely oblivious, but he knows this is on.
Of course he does.
I was set up, ironed out a few technical problems, and suddenly he's like, meow, meow, meow.
Pay me attention, not them.
Come on.
How have you been, sir?
I've been good. I've still sort of the last sort of clutching, dying embers of this
Oh, wow.
cold seemed to come back last week, and it's been busy at
geez.
work, so I've like a little bit But yeah, it's worse than COVID, which of course made me realise that COVID was 6 years ago.
It was. Yeah.
And if your birthday is 6 years ago,
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
exactly.
Albert.
Yeah, so many
It's
people
kind of
are celebrating
so
birthdays at
weird.
this time of year.
It's so strange.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there we go. So yeah, just ploughing back on and getting stuck into sequencers.
Yes, I saw.
Yeah, there's one under the table. I think I can't get it out yet, but I've already got it out. And had to make
Indeed.
my apologies first.
And then he got arrested.
I know
did
what you
get
mean.
arrested.
I kind of had a bit of a acquaintance with hardware sequencers.
Yeah.
And they are, after spending so much time with the software thing, it's quite refreshing.
It's
and then
very
you kind of
refreshing.
begin to realise sometimes how frustrating it can be.
I think for me, I approach them in different ways. I think a sequencer in a DAW is a compositional tool that will take you somewhere very deliberate.
Yes.
Whereas I think the little boxes that I love are sketch pads. For me, they are a way of removing the guardrails. I can go anywhere I want. I can do it. I can go to the limits of this device. I can push a little bit and I can have fun with it. And that, for me, has reignited more love of music than not. Then I suppose, having done it for so many years, you can find sitting down in front of a computer, it's like work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas playing with a box in your living room is like
It
fun.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Absolutely.
we'll probably bring that up again later for the other topic that's on the chat.
Yeah.
Well, there is a question in the chat specifically for you.
Oh, hello.
Where was Jason last week, and why was he not
sorry,
at
Matt.
Synth Southwest?
Vehicle, money, vehicle is
Yeah.
the thing. My car was repaired that week, and I didn't say anything because I thought,
As soon as you say it
as
rains.
soon as I say it, but the first journey it broke down.
Oh, no.
It's just like, you're kidding. And it's not. It wasn't anything to do with the repair.
No, it
Something
was
else.
something else.
But it was the other thing that was not working before the other thing that went.
Right.
So I've been the whole year without a car, but
Oh, well.
loving the motorbike.
Well, indeed.
Admit it, you were in a police cell after getting your sequencer out in public.
You promised not to say that online.
I know, but hey, we're not
And-
online.
Anyway, good to see you now. Anyway,
He didn't say
we can
sequencer,
talk about
Ken.
the stuff.
I'm sorry I missed you.
Yeah.
All who were there last week.
Right. Last but by no means first, and I've saved this guy till last because he did a solid last week. He basically organised almost the whole thing
Very nice.
last week, and deserves a huge amount of credit for what he pulled off on the weekend. And let's just bring him in, ladies and gentlemen. It is Peter James Stephen.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Again, getting sick of the sight of you.
I
How are you?
know. Knackered.
Yeah, still, it takes longer, doesn't it? Yeah. But
No, it's good.
no, it was good, wasn't it?
It was more than good. It really was exceeding of my expectations. So yeah, brilliant.
We'll talk about it in detail in a moment. But this week, obviously, you have you even thought about Synth Southwest?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've tried not to really.
I know, but people keep ringing me up.
Yeah, true.
People from Dawlish thinking this was brilliant. Can we do it again?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, well, no, they did enjoy our being there, didn't they?
they did.
Which was very good. But no, well done, mate, and thank you
Yes.
for everything. And great performance, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
Really
It's
enjoyed that.
Funny, I was so worried about the show, I didn't even think about my performance, and it just all worked. So.
Which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
It's probably a good thing. It took your mind off it, and no, it was great. And we will be showing that on the channel at some point very soon. So lots to talk about. In fact, why don't we? Let's just start off talking all things Synth Southwest. So, if for those people that didn't know that we were doing this thing, we decided. Well, Peter came to me and said, "I think we should do a show, our own show. And let's do it in this neck of the woods because nothing really gets beyond Bristol, and there is a large synthesizer community in the southwest of the UK." And of course, Peter lives in that neck of the woods and is on the Chamber of Trade and Commerce, and so you're well connected within the area, and was able to, I guess, I don't know, call in a few favours, send the boys round, sort of thing, and get these things set up. So I have to admit, I was like, oh, I don't know, can we do this? And then Peter convinced me. It's just like, yeah, go on. Let's. What could possibly go wrong? So it was a wonderful day of events, which we'll go through sort of from beginning to end. But of course, if you watch the show regularly, and you were watching this time last week, I was sat at a table in the Strand Centre, which is this community centre in the very heart of Dawlish itself. And there was lots of stuff going on around me. We had Matt on roving camera going around. There wasn't a huge amount to show. There was lots of empty tables. But we got an idea of what the venue was like, and we had a few people turn up in the evening and start setting their stuff up. And at that point we would some of us had travelled very long distances to get there, and so some of us are very tired and hungry, but we got everything literally laid out. Massive thanks to Matt and his son Luke as well. And Hayley, for doing so much of the heavy lifting. Literally heavy lifting. We had to clear the stage area. There's no stage, but there's a performance area, and slap bang in the middle of the performance area was a bloody great grand piano.
I just want to know how tall Luke's mother is, because he towers over Matt, doesn't he?
Towers over pretty much everyone. He's a big
fella.
Lad,
yeah.
Big fella. But what a guy, super guy, just like his father. And super helpful. And he just kept coming up. Anything you need doing, anything. So you just give me a shout. I'll be. And so when we needed lots of chairs lifting up and out of the way, he was there and he's moving tables, and it was great. So we had lots of help, didn't we?
We did.
So Friday was a pretty kind of stressful time, because we all had to make sure we got there and got in and got the gear in and started get everything set up, and it was all a bit hectic. And then we had some tea, and then we went up the pub. We did. The girls actually went up the pub before us, didn't they?
They did.
Andrew's partner Liz, my missus Jackie. Sue, of course. There was Matt and Sue, Bostich 247, and the lovely Sue. And they all went up to the pub first, and then we all followed shortly after and imbibed some alcohol, and went to our respective boudoirs to catch some shut-eye before the big day itself. So we do have some video footage that we've got permission to use from Panda Man Sam, another local guy who came down and was brilliant. I mean, we've met before. We met at Bristronica, but it was great to see him in person again. He's a super lad, and he did some brilliant photographs. Tried to recreate the poster, didn't he? Brought a little model train and set it by the beach, and everything. It was very cool. It was an early start. 8 o'clock in the morning, people started coming in, and it's one of those moments. I guess you were probably feeling it more, Pete, that all these people had said they were going to come. You still don't know until they walk through the door.
But they did.
They did, and they were bringing all sorts of goodies. There was the CS80, and there was all that stuff from the I forget the name of the organisation that was next to the CS80. Musical therapy they do.
Oh yeah, Rogers. Yeah.
Roger, so there's all that lot, and then there was the guy who had this massive tower of rock.
Glenn.
And I'm like, you put anything more in that, it's going to all top it. But it's delightfully balanced, and all done in size order as well. It's very cool. Apparently a lot of that stuff was for sale. And then in the corner we had Mr. Kent Spong in the studio live, talking to punters as they came by and sat down. We thought, well, we've got to get this guy involved somehow, so that's how we did it. And you were joined by Ben Rossborough.
Yeah.
There was another synth tech.
Yep.
What were you talking to people about? Because there was one particular guy that was there for a very long time.
He was the other synth tech.
He was the other synth tech.
Yeah, it was the other synth tech, yeah. So between the three of us, we decided how we were going to take over the world.
Okay.
So
this is how religions are formed.
Basically, I mean, it got to the point where we talked about if we formed a company together.
Oh wow.
Because then things would get done quicker. So
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And yeah, there was loads of people. I mean, there was an awful lot of people who were just walking by, looking down at the monitor, and then just giving me the finger, and then walking on.
I think who that was.
I do that.
Yeah.
Fair play.
So, and obviously we were returning the favour, because it was nice of them to wave, so we waved back. And I think Ty deliberately came by at least 3 times to do it.
Yeah.
And saw Pip as well, who waved, and it was very, nice.
Yeah.
So I don't know how the hell he got her, but there you go.
Punching well above.
Yeah,
well
well,
above.
She's great.
There were an awful lot of people walking past where Kent was, just going, he's there now?
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
Kent.
Live.
It
I think
was-
a lot of people didn't realise there was 2 sets of headphones, because more than one person could sit down at once.
Yeah.
And they thought, well, while somebody's on there, they couldn't join. And
I
it was
genuinely think next year we should do.
We need to
whatever
invest
we
in one of
can
those. Yeah.
to get one of those little things that you pop an iPad on,
Yeah.
and you can be there kind of semi-physically.
put an Osbot on a Roomba.
So yeah, something like that. We need
Just
to-
send it around.
You must be able to hire one of those.
Yeah.
You've got to do it. Got to do it. But yeah, there we go. So, and then that brought us. Well, actually, let me just throw a picture up of the event that we took
From the gods.
from the gods. Yeah, basically, there's it's a converted church. The organ apparently still works, although nobody was brave enough to try it. Although I did try and say, "Look, you go on, have a go," but nobody did. But it's a lovely space, and there's this mezzanine level, I suppose
The
you want to call it.
choir sort of seats,
Yeah, the
isn't it?
choir section. That's it. And it's full of pews, but it's also full of all sorts of things. There was bags
Yeah.
of tambourines that I was banging along to the legendary Bang Bang Clang, who are just there at the back. Of the venue where it's our performance area. But as you can see, people were coming in there on the right hand side, then going round to the, it's kind of a U-shaped thing, so you could just do a lap. And there was a tea and coffee room at the entrance, so they were serving food and drink and all that kind of stuff. There was a wonderful bric-a-brac sale out the front
Yeah.
of
They
the
just get on
event.
with it, Dawlish.
Yeah, what I think what it was doing is it was attracting people for that. So I guess they were raising money for charity of some description. But then they were coming into the hall, I guess, expecting more of the same. And there were lots of confused elderly people were walking in and just going,
Aren't we all?
That's the demographic of Dawlish. Confused elderly people.
Yeah.
One of them approached.
They're all
Jackie
coming in
and-
going, is this a millionaire's jumble sale?
Like me.
One of them approached Jackie.
That's the S80.
Yeah, one of them approached Jackie and just sort of had this very kind of bothered, confused look. And he looked at Jackie and said, "This is altogether too loud for me." And then off he went. But there was this other woman that I keep telling everyone about. It was just delightful to watch her because she came in and she really did look like she'd taken something chemical before she'd come in, because the look on her face was... and it was just this kind of look of wonder as she just
Was this
did a
the-
lap of the place.
Was this
And
the
then just-
80-year-old?
She was quite elderly. I wouldn't want to put an age on, but she was of a senior age. But she just wandered around with this glorious look of wonder on her face, just looking around at all this stuff, and then just and went out.
Perhaps she was the
and it
spirit.
brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. She was really lovely. So that was the main event there. So that's kind of around midday. So people were sort of getting lunch and stuff. But if you look closely on that photo, you'll see at the bottom in the middle, you'll see the Leviathan, which I brought along, and lots of people fell in love with that. To the left of the synth, which you can't see in this particular image, was our merch stand, which was manned by my wife Jackie and my son Luca, who did an excellent job. So thank you to those guys. Next to that is Ollie Freck's wonderful stand where he's selling all of his artwork and his books and everything. Opposite that, you see the guy with the pink shirt is just stood in front of the CS80, and there was all this wonderful stuff going on and soldering and things happening down that row there. And in the corner, underneath the cross, of course, was Kent Spong and the table run by
Blessing
Matt
people.
and Haley. Yeah, that's where you could engage there. And then at the back, in the centerpiece at the back there, we see the ProSynth Network logo. That was the performance area. So at that moment in time, I think I was either introducing or thanking Bang Bang Clang, who were the kind of the main act in the middle of the day. To the left of that, we've got Pete Catley with 2 electronic drum kits, a Simmons SDS5 and a Roland. I can't remember what the model numbers was. They're oddly shaped hexagonal things. And then coming back down the other side, you had Eddie Garcia with his Tower of Roland Power, which is like almost every JV and JX synthesizer that they built. There you see Robin Vincent with his wonderful Synth Picnic style table. Synth Picnic is an event that he runs here in Norwich every month, where you can go in and rent modular synthesizers, which I think is a fantastic idea.
It's not just modular either. You can rent like normal synths too.
Yeah, exactly. There's all sorts.
Really cool idea.
Yeah. We had the guys from DBS opposite Robin there as well, and then the guy in the yellow shirt is somebody I've known for many years and just known him because of being at shows, and he was like, I need to get this guy at our show because he makes wonderful stuff. It's Darren from Rackets, who came down from the Midlands, and he told me this wonderful story that he kind of fell out of love with doing what he was doing and ended up spending more time fishing than doing synthesizers, and us inviting him along didn't kickstart him back in, but it coincided with him making a concerted effort to get back into it. So he was really happy, and he was taking lots of information and feedback on some new designs. So Darren, thank you so much for coming.
I think it's brilliant. I've got a synth drum and I've got the metal. I haven't made the metal kit yet, but it sounds great as well. So good
really
to have him back.
Yeah, absolutely. And then across from him is the marvellous Welsh dragon, Chris Poacher, who brought some great gear, and of course was able to promote his business, which is creating and selling USB replacement drives for old gear with floppy disk drives in. And he does amazing stuff. I've got loads of his stuff in the studio here. So he was there as well. So that was pretty much...
And Steve Sims, don't forget. He was
I forgot.
in between
Steve
the drums and Eddie.
Yeah. So Steve Sims came down kind of last minute, but he brought a whole bunch of classic digital synthesizers. There was DX7, M1, D50. There was a JX8P there.
Triton,
What else did he have?
He had a Triton Extreme.
That's it, yeah. So loads of great stuff there. And then out of shot, but we will pick up a shot of him later on, just in the far bottom left-hand corner, was our very own Mr... what's his name? Andrew Longhurst, that's it. Andrew was doing a stand for us that essentially you went along and you had 10 minutes to create a brand new patch from scratch on Cherry Audio's Mercury 8 synthesizer, and then we'd save that, and I'll tell you what we're going to do with them. We're getting those judged, and the winner of that will win a SynthStack 6 license. So that means that they'll get literally every single Cherry Audio synthesizer up to but not including the last one, which was SH Max.
Max, yeah.
You forgot the Perlman stand.
Schmack.
We didn't have a dedicated...
Well, we had it there, didn't we?
There was a Rhodes Chroma and then the ARC 2600. And we were handing out the flyers
posters as well,
and the badges, and
Nobody was allowed to touch.
And of course there was also have I got that picture? I'm not sure I have, but there was this wonderful picture of Peter put the Art Foundation banner at the front outside. So
that worked quite well, actually.
It did, yeah.
That really did work well.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much what was going on. So let's flick through some more pictures here. Oh, there's Andrew about to go skiing.
Skiing, I was.
He's off there. So that's looking towards Darren and DBS and their stand, and to the left there you've got Robin. You can tell because he's got his picnic tablecloth on his table, and he brought some wonderful bits of gear. He brought the new Create Audio sequencer, which was very intriguing, although I didn't really get much time to play with it. But yeah, he was kind of the modular representation, which was, we wanted to make sure we had those people covered. And I also have to say a massive thank you to Robin Vincent. If you haven't already watched the latest episode of his Molten monthly broadcast, which he put out about an hour and a half ago, he gives us his review of the event, and he gave us some really lovely words. We were so happy that he agreed to literally come from the same side of the country as I did, all the way over. He hired a car. I thought he was coming by train, but he hired a car.
You should have lift shared.
We should have done, but just
Man,
organisation. He came down on the Saturday, we came on the Friday, so I guess he was probably cutting down his accommodation costs. But so he drove all the way down and represented, and it was great to have him there because we could also then thank him because
for cribbing.
He's inspired this whole thing.
Yeah.
He invites us to Synth East. We put on a display there. He doesn't charge us anything for the space. We get to blab about synthesizers to anyone that cares to stop by. Hopefully we get a few viewers from it, and it was great to be able to kind of return the favour, although he had to drive quite a way, although Peter has to drive the same distance the opposite way for Synth East.
Exactly. That's the way
And
it
it
works,
was great
isn't
to see him there, and he was there for the whole day, including the evening gig
it
as
was
well,
lovely
which we'll
to see
talk
him,
about
yeah.
a little bit later. So here's one thing that we didn't. Well, this was very kind of like last minute. We were very surprised that the mayor of Dawlish wanted to come and open the show.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, yeah, why not? So that's Anthony on the right, and that's the only bit of bling that he didn't have any. I was expecting a guy in robes with the tricorner hat.
Yeah.
But
In fact,
this guy
my
was
wife said,
so
"Who's
nice.
this bloke with all that bling on?" Oh, that's the
know,
mayor
right?
then.
Yeah, he was such a nice guy, and he was so like happy that we'd come and done this. So that was nice to get a picture with him, and then we get photo bombed
Who's that?
by some weird American. I know, right?
To be fair, how far had he come?
Exactly.
Surely the furthest.
Got to be.
Yeah, you moaning about East Anglia. God.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly. Get over yourself.
Anthony said to us, he said, I hear you've got somebody coming in from America. And we're like, yeah, we're trying to avoid
He's an
him.
American.
But is he here? He said, is he? I want to meet him. I want to shake his hand. And I said, well, he was around earlier. And thankfully, at the last minute, he appeared and we managed to get him over and we got a photo and everything. So that was cool. Let's see, what else have we got here? So this is the kind of the digital corner here. So we have Eddie Garcia, who you might know. He's got his own channel called Six Oscillators, which kind of focuses on guitars, but also synthesizers as well. To the left of him there is the ARP 2600 and the Chroma, which were looking resplendent. And then he's got this massive kind of tower of Roland stuff, both rack mount and keyboard stuff. So it's crazy how he got all of that stuff in there.
I could even play the bottom one there. And you, Scott. That's just for us.
I would still be on my tiptoes to play that bottom one.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh. It's like I got the extra Welsh inch, you see.
We are misses.
Oh, well, indeed. Steve Sims out on the right talking to Bostitch 247 in the pale blue shirt there. And then behind them was with Pete Catley with his drums. I'm just trying to see if we've got a decent picture of that. I don't think we have. There's the CS80, which wasn't working,
Nice.
but was being displayed internally and externally. So, she was having her innards displayed around.
Anyone would look.
Yeah, that's the view from the other side at the top there, which was it was a good view to watch the band from. There's Eddie again with I think that isn't that the photographer's girlfriend?
I think it was his latest project. I think he was taking photos of her that day.
I see.
If you know what I mean.
There you go. And with a wonderful T-shirt there, which I thought that was quite a cool T-shirt. So yeah, that was kind of the day event, and we do have. Should we watch a video? Because it gives you a much better idea. Robin, by the way, if you go and watch Molten Music Monthly on Robin's channel, Molten is it Molten
Music
Technology, isn't it? MMT or something? Yeah. Anyway, just search Molten Music and you'll find him. He did one of his walkabouts with his big kind of camera on the stick thing, and it's really cool. Go and watch that one. But Sam, Panda Man, he did a little bit of filming himself, and has given us permission to show this video. It's in vertical format, but I've kind of messed around with it so it doesn't look a bit odd on a big widescreen. So get a load of Panda's video. Here we go.
So welcome to Synth Southwest. Merch store. Say hi, Joseph.
Hi, Joseph.
Looking over the beautiful city. Go on. Show us inside. Nice. Lovely stuff. Thank you, mate. Much better. Gorgeous. Thank you, mate. That's stuff from Rockhaven. Stuff CZ101. Alan Morgan. Harp Odyssey. Those old school stuff. Sinners Music Records. Bits and bobs. Got GT Electronics. Loads and loads of rap now. Kent in the corner there. Setting up for the final performance. Drum Machine Alley with 2 Simmons drum kits. Keyboard section, D50, JX8P, DX7, SY77, Triton. I've played with all of them, and the Korg M1. Got Roland Alley. Lovely stuff. Lovely 2600 there. 2600p. That's what I like to call Spaghetti Junction. Deep Blue Sound and Down, selling the courses. Because it's busy.
And there you go.
Blimey.
That was kind of the main event. It felt bigger. You see
It
that
did
there,
feel bigger, yeah.
There was lots going on. There was lots of people to distract. I forgot to mention Ian J. Cole was there with his Sinners music tables as well.
Yay.
Selling loads of music and badges and
Did quite
jelly,
well, actually. Yeah.
jelly wrestling key rings and all sorts of wonderful gubbins on there. So yeah, it was a really good day event. Pete, what was your highlight of the day event?
Just everyone turning up.
The relief that people showed.
Relief.
Yeah.
of
No,
the
I
hype.
think, yeah, all of it really. I had a bit of a nightmare where he'd hidden the tables, and in the middle of the night,
Oh, yes.
Friday, I was suddenly thinking I'm short of tables, and then when we got there was another 10 behind this curtain, so it was fine. So yeah,
Yeah, that was
It was just
we were
about
having
it all
put
worked,
2 small
yeah.
ones together and had nothing for people to sit and have their coffees and stuff.
exactly, yes. So, but no, I think everything just worked. Like,
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
did. Didn't it?
I mean, Pete always brings. I love drum machines and electronic drums. Pete's stand he put so much effort into that.
Oh, God, he was
And he
last
was on
in, wasn't he?
holiday.
Last out. Yeah, no, he went straight on holiday, didn't he? Yeah.
He was literally he persuaded his better half that they should go on holiday on the proviso that on the Saturday he could come and do this, and so he brought all of those. I mean, what did he have? So he had a mini pops. He had a KR55. I can't remember which was the A or the B. I can't remember.
All 3 of the Lins.
All 3 of the Lins. So LM1, Lin drum, and the 9000.
Yeah.
There was a DX, an Oberheim DX. There was a Yamaha
Drumulator.
RX11. Sorry, what?
The Drumulator as well.
The Drumulator. Yep, had that as well. And then you had the Simmons SDS5 and that Roland kit, which you got a couple of Roland sound sources mapped to that. Yeah, it was and he printed a big
Oh, it's wonderful,
thing with logos and it was great. It was really good. So that was great to see that. Always good to see Eddie in the flesh rather than on a screen. Lots of very familiar faces that we see at all the shows.
Yeah.
People like Tim Dale, and the two. Who are the 2 guys, Peter, that we always see at Super Booth? There's the Scottish fella and the other one, and I never remember their names.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
they're always there, aren't they?
We always have breakfast with them in Berlin.
Yeah.
They're at the same hotel, and we wander around. They're always at these shows. It's so brilliant to see these people. But that's my biggest problem is I forget the names. I see the faces and
Yeah.
All right, mate. That's what I do. All right, mate. Thanks for coming.
I called Bostitch 247 Robert for the whole event.
Oh,
Not Matt,
Oh, you could have
Robert.
called him worse.
For the whole event, and he didn't ever correct me.
He's too
I've
polite.
apologised since.
Him and
too
Sue
polite.
are just absolute. I mean,
Oh, they're
my missus
diamonds.
and Sue got on like a house on fire. They've exchanged
mine,
phone numbers
yeah.
and all sorts. And I have to say another massive thank you to Matt and Sue for bringing me one of their David Byrne Silver VIP goodie bags, because they went to see David Byrne as I did, but they did the whole posh silver VIP thing, and they got 2 goodie bags and decided they only wanted one, so they brought me the other one, which was lovely.
Oh.
And also a massive thank you to Hayley as well, Matt's better half, who found a Prince tour program to a tour that I'd not been to, so I hadn't got that one, and she saw it and bought it from this shop and brought. So I got gifts and everything.
Yeah,
It's
and I
so
got a
nice.
cake from Haley.
And you got a cake because of course it was your birthday
It was,
on the
yeah.
day. What a way to celebrate!
Your
So
birthday.
yeah,
But, no,
Andrew,
it's all good.
you were busy. You were kind of stuck in that little corner there by the second entrance thing, but you were doing your Mercury 8 patch design thing. How did that go?
That went really well. I was also, I had to take a break in the middle, as Peter knows, to go and get the camera set up for the evening. But yeah, it was really busy. We had a lot of people coming by that just wanted to know what it was and wanted to see and hear the Jupiter 8, or not the Jupiter 8, the Mercury 8. Lots of people talking about it. And just saying how wonderful it was. And then we started getting more and more people. I think people were nervous in front of everyone that was there to sit down and create a preset. So I set it up so they could do it on headphones, didn't have to be on the speakers. And we got a good trade there. It was really good. And I remember, from the whole day, there was a point on Friday and on Saturday morning where my wife Liz said, It's chaos. How's it going to work before it opened? And do you remember Shakespeare in Love, the film Shakespeare in Love? The theatre manager is challenged by actors not turning up, props going wrong, people wanting to close the theatre down, and someone says to him, "How does it? How will this ever work?" And he says, "I don't know, but it will. It just does." And that's exactly what happened. It all happened, and it happened brilliantly. It was such a good event.
I think one of the big questions of the day was the fact. Well, what the statement was, Liz. We've never met Liz before.
No.
And Liz is amazing. But the big question of the day is, how did you bag that? So, yeah, I mean,
Like that.
she's lovely. No, she is. Please reiterate our deepest
Definitely.
gratitude.
I think Sarah and Liz got on like a house on fire.
Yeah,
So, yeah, it's good.
I think all the ladies kind of congregated in all these kind of synth widows, and
because they don't.
And they mucked in. They
understand
were all of them
Yeah.
were moving tables and chairs
Yeah.
on the Friday night and Saturday morning. Yeah, they were all doing stuff. So yeah, it was really good. And she manned when I was sticking my way around, just
Skiing
going
around.
to say hello to people. She was looking after people. She was great. Yeah, they were all really, really good.
It was like everybody that showed up. The amount of people that came up said, "Can we help? Can we do anything?"
Yeah, we weren't sure of anybody helping. It was great.
Yeah, it was fantastic. So, to all those people, if we haven't mentioned your name, thank you. Thank you for your offers of help. Thank you for just turning up and supporting the event, because it was a really cool day, and it. We've learned stuff from it. We've already had we're having a little discussion before we came on air about things that we can possibly do next year, because there will be a next year. We will we'll come back next year and we'll do things hopefully a little better.
Maybe a little
And with a younger road crew.
I think we might need to employ some young muscle. So that was the day event, and so that wrapped up around 5 o'clock. I mean, I've forgotten to mention the musical acts. So we had 4 musical acts during the day.
We did,
and so we had who was the first one?
Ian opened the show.
Ian.
Of course, yes, Ian was first. Yeah, I was thinking he was later on, but no. So Ian did this wonderful thing with his instrument. I've never seen a instrument before, and it's a very lovely thing. I was quite taken with that. So he did this lovely kind of ambient, kind of atmospheric thing with that, and his physical modelling instruments played through the instruments. So that was really cool. Yeah. And then he was followed by Bang Bang Clang. Now, we've got to give a shout out to Bang Bang Clang. So Bang Bang Clang are a synth or electronic music covers band. They do brilliant. I mean, almost
the rec session
recording
players.
perfect. versions of stuff. So this is Bang Bang Clang, everyone, and the purveyors of the finest. Actually, Jason, can you just read that bottom line out in your wonderful voice?
Purveyors of the finest 80s synth pop.
Couldn't say it better. There you go. So they came along and they did an hour-long set. They did literally recording perfect covers of OMD, Gary Newman, Depeche Mode,
nice.
Pet Shop Boys. Yeah, they kicked off with West End Girls, and that was really very good. It was great, and they even gave us a mini kind of demonstration of how their kit works. So that was all very cool. So if you are in the Plymouth area, around that neck of the woods, if you want to book a great 80s synth band, let me just I'll make this full screen. So if you want to
anywhere in the southwest,
they're going
southwest,
anywhere.
We'll travel for cheddar.
So there you go. That's how you contact them. Their
And
details
they
I
were
think
fantastic.
are on the page. But if you pause the video there, you can then just scan those codes in and give them a look, because they were bloody brilliant. And then after them, we had Eddie. What did they? Human controlled oscillators was the name of the act. So it's Eddie and Chris. Was it Chris?
Yeah.
I think his musical partner, and they both rocked up with guitars, and we were like, hang on a minute, this is a synthesizer show. Until you looked down at the pedal board, and there was a Roland GR guitar synth. And so, they gave us 3 or 4 numbers, which was very interesting stuff, very good stuff as well. And then finally we had Matt, and where was he from?
Matt Ward from DBS in Plymouth.
He was from DBS, yeah. And he did this great kind of, I suppose you call it techno kind of set. It was really good. Lots of people. There wasn't much room to dance, but lots of people jiggling. That was very cool. So they were the 4 acts, and they were kind of spread out throughout the day. And I was getting a little bit concerned that we might kind of run over time, but we didn't. Everything the timings just went brilliantly.
They did.
Yeah. So it was a really, really good event. So that was the day expo, and then of course we all then decamped from there and went across to the Shaftesbury Theatre, where we had our evening performance, and that was just spectacular. It was an incredible thing, and I can't wait to show you or let you watch the video of that event, which is currently in the hands of our cameraman Andrew. We managed to get good copies of all the audio from the desk and also from the crowd as well.
Even the audience, the crowd. It's brilliant. Yeah, I've just been listening to it.
So we should have a lovely video to share with you fairly soon. But we do have some still images, again, courtesy of, I would say, is our official cameraman, but he did the promo stuff. Is Beach
Cams Man.
Beach Cams Man. Go and check him out and his photo work. So we had our headline act, who were getting some attention from the staff. These 2 ladies on the left with the glasses. They were working the bar that night, and they could not get out from behind the bar quick enough when they found out that there was a photo op with the legend that is Steve Davis. So that was quite amusing to see that. And then I think that's the other guy there, front of house manager or something. Yeah. So that's the whole. So again, I don't know if they'll be watching this. They probably won't. But this is the crew. I think there's one person missing who remained at the front. This is the sort of front of house crew and the bar crew who looked after us splendidly. And we mustn't also forget to mention Dom, who was doing the sound and the lighting for us. And he could not do anything more for us if he tried.
He was absolutely fantastic.
The woman in the black jacket in the centre with the black tie looks like she's ready to do an electronic gig herself.
I know, right? She's very smart.
With the guy on the right. It's a double act.
She was also being very
it's like Geraldine Newman or something.
So let's see if I can get these pictures in the right order. Did he not take one of you, Pete?
No, he didn't actually. Yeah, there are others pictures of me.
I'll try and dig one out. But so Peter opened the show, which was really good. So Peter did. Tell us what you did, Peter. I'm fed up of talking.
Well, I just did my thing, which was
Did
about
your
the,
thing.
about the Olympus engine, which is a project I've been working on since I left the Vulcan. Once the Vulcan was grounded, I had
Yeah.
So I got involved with Rolls-Royce Heritage, and they give me all these diaries and things from the actual manufacturing of the Olympus engine. So I put it to music and a bit of film. So that's
Yeah.
what we did first of all. So that kind of worked.
And then you did this wonderful tribute.
I did a little tribute to the boy, to Craig, because obviously he was one of the ones that said you need to do this,
Yes.
and he was supposed to be there helping. So I thought let's sort of give a tribute to him as well. Yeah.
And the big surprise for me was, so I'm sat there, I'm getting a little bit emotional. I was kind of emotional throughout the whole day. Sometimes, but I could feel my voice cracking when I was doing some of the announcements, because I always get that kind of way when I think it's just, I don't know, when I'm showing gratitude I get emotional because it shows that people care. And I'm sat there at the front of the auditorium watching Peter play, which I've never seen Peter play before. Very impressive stuff. Along with the footage of this old 1950s, 1960s, 70s footage of the Vulcan bombers and the V bombers, and of course Concorde, all of which used variants of the Olympus engine. And there was lots of this kind of nostalgic black and white footage. Now, on my mother's side, we're RAF, and so that stuff has been drilled into me over the years by my uncle and by my grandfather.
It's our age, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And then of course there was this. I knew this thing you were going to do this thing for Craig, and you started playing the music. And I'm going, I've heard this before. Where have I heard? Of course, it's the music that's in our trailer for for the show. So you used that, and that was just it was a lovely, touching moment. And it was great to see, and you did a great job.
Thanks.
And so, great way to open the show. A really great way to open the show. Then followed by two lovely gentlemen there. Well, one lovely gentleman and Mike Metley. So,
what is Mike about to do, though?
I know.
He looks menacing.
He does.
I wouldn't want to be at the other end of that stool.
What does this
Paul
not
Harriman,
do?
Paul Harriman is the guy on the left.
They were,
And as you can see, he's got an eigenharp.
I was going to say that's an eigenharp, isn't it?
And I've never seen one of those in the flesh either.
Whoa.
And that's a fascinating thing.
It is.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. So they did this really cool kind of. It started off very ambiently, then the drums came in. It was very impressive stuff, and then I'm guessing a lot of it was mostly improvised, but it was really, really good stuff from both of those guys. And to watch, I've never seen Mike perform.
no,
I've only ever seen him perform verbally when he's trying to sell books at the Buke stand at various shows. So that was a great.
Did you find? I mean, I know because we joke about Mike all the time, but I was really surprised at how ridiculously good he and Paul were. That set was. It was stunning, absolutely stunning.
Well, they do this stuff on radiospiral.net, which is Mike's kind of online radio station for all the kinds of music like that. And I guess they probably know each other very well. And so there was a connection going on, which was very cool. Very, very cool. That was the second musical act, and then of course we had an interval so that people could get lubricated once more.
Easy.
And then the second most exciting part of the show happened, which was this guy.
Yay.
And again, a huge thank you to Ty for coming. We all know that Ty doesn't perform the last time he performed live was about 10 years ago for the Sonic State event.
I played with him.
You played with him, didn't you? Yeah, 2016.
I opened that one. Yeah.
I was there.
I said to him,
I was right in the front row.
I remember saying to Pete, "Do you think we can get Ty to do something?" He said, "Yeah, we've got to get him. He said, "Yeah, you've got to do it." So I approached him, and he sort of said, "Let me think about it." And I kept hassling him, and then eventually he said, "Oh, all right then, I'll do it." So he brought a laptop, a Nord stage, a couple of other controllers, a few other bits and bobs, some effects, and he basically dug out two compositions that he had created for some sort of production, whether it was a TV show or a film, I don't know, but were never used. And so therefore he retains the copyright to these things. So he dug these two things up, and they were basically called Sketch 1 and Sketch 5. And so, being the rebel that he is, he played Sketch 5 first, and then Sketch 1. But they were both brilliantly
amazing.
wonderful, rousing pieces. Of, you could just sit there with your eyes closed and just picture stuff going on. It was brilliant. He is very, very good. I hate to say it, but he is.
And there was a particularly good photo with you in the background as well, Rob, looking like the security guard.
Yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Team
Pet Shop Boys,
of Pet
Temu.
Shop Boys. Yeah. So
And you order
anyway,
the Pet Shop Boys and end up with the Chip Shop Boys.
exactly. Yeah, that's what it was. Definitely. So then, what Ty did was assault the audience. I kid you not.
That's a great photo, that is.
Brilliant.
So Ty wanted to do this thing, which is again similar to the thing that he did at the Sonic State event a decade ago, and he wanted to just inject a little bit of chaos in there. So he wanted people to give him a key, and then some chords, and then a tempo, and what was the other
Time signature.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Time signature. Yeah. So I can't remember what they. It was all done in 3/4.
F minor.
F minor, and it was
No,
a
F
fairly
sharp, sorry, F sharp.
80 something BPM or something like that.
Yeah.
So to choose this and to make sure it is utterly and completely random, I spoke to him a few weeks before the show, and he said, "I'm going to get something that I can throw into the audience." And I said, "For God's sake, just make sure it's soft, and it's not going to hurt anyone." Oh no, yeah, it'll be something like a soft toy. He turns up with these floppy frisbees, right? And they, when you hold them, they're
They
just floppy. My God, when they were in flight, they turned into missiles. And the very first one he threw,
Guy just below me.
bang,
Bonk.
right in the top of the forehead. And like Ty was mortified, but thankfully the guy had
I bet you loved it.
a good sense of humour. So there's Ty throwing stuff out to get random input, and there's Conrad throwing one back. I think Conrad actually, he chose the key. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
That happened, and he played a piece of music for about 5-10 minutes, based on all of this input that he got at random, and you just think, I hate him.
Yeah.
He's just so good.
And it was good.
But it was very good. And,
It was
and
very good.
we are indebted to Mr. Unwin.
Yes, because he's not going to do it
Mr.
again.
Unwin.
I've already asked him.
Well, we'll try. You never know.
We will.
And then finally, we had our headline act, who took the stage with a little. It was almost a comedy routine.
Yeah.
Which was great. I won't spoil it because it was quite funny, and we have got it on camera. They did a little intro, and then this was Steve Davis and Gaz Williams representing their record label Rat Records, with this completely improvised set of two pieces of 20 minutes long each. And it is 100% improvised. They have no idea what they're going to do. They just start something off and build on it. And it was marvelous, and they get really into it. I mean, Steve is sat down, so he's not as into it as much as the largely animated Gaz Williams, who came up with this ending part, and then just as it all finished, he just went up and went, "Yes!" It was glorious. It was
You can see the delight in Steve's face there as well. Like.
Yeah, it was so good.
It was good.
Superb.
He was in the zone.
I was with them. I was with them both on the Wednesday,
Yes,
and they had their final rehearsal before the tour, which they've been on this week. And of course, it didn't go well.
Oh,
Rehearsal didn't go well, and that elation that is obviously there is that it went well. And I think that's. I hope the rest of their tours. I know. I mean, it's gone really well. Tonight's the last night, and it's in my home,
Wrexham.
mine and Gaz's hometown, Wrexham,
yeah.
where we met 38 years ago.
Yeah.
wow.
I know some people that went to the Liverpool one and said it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So that was very cool.
Again,
And,
cars.
And I managed to. So they brought some merchandise along, and they were selling it in the foyer. And that morning, Steve put out this video. So what they've done is they released this album called Shipwreck on the Rat Records. They pressed 100 copies.
Only.
They'd sold out. I'd missed out on it. But then Steve posted this thing on his Instagram, or the band's Instagram, saying that they produced 6 unique copies of the album, and they were unique in that every sleeve had the name of one of the venues. So Dawlish was on one, Wrexham on another, Liverpool, Bristol, Glasgow, and
Edinburgh.
what was the other?
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, that's it. And they'd also made tote bags with the name of the venue on there as well. So it's utterly unique. Limited edition, ones of one, 6 of these different things. And being the record collecting nerd that I am, I was like, oh, I've got to get those. But I'm just never going to get the chance because I'm too busy doing other things. We jumped on stage at the end of the show and I was having a chat with Gaz and Steve. And I said, oh, yeah, I'm gutted I missed out on the limited vinyl. And Gaz turns around and says, we haven't sold it. And I'm like, no. And so Fiona jumps down, runs off to the foyer, goes and gets it, and we just do the transaction on the stage. So I managed to snag their vinyl as well, which was brilliant. So that was very good. But yeah, they were just
Again, the whole process was handmade.
all
The
done by
album
hand.
sleeves, each is
Everyone's
absolutely unique because
Yeah.
they're handmade. The tote bag, hand printed.
yeah.
So
And
yeah,
it's wonderful because when you take a picture of that with the flash, all the colours, it reflects all the colours. Whereas when you look at it in just like normal light, it's nice, but it's not as bright and colourful. It's just a wonderful thing. So yeah, Dead
Did very well there, didn't you?
And there were two very different pieces they did in the evening. They
Yeah.
did two very different, completely from scratch improvisations. I love watching them talk to each other over the
Yeah.
top of Gaz's setup. They were talking to each other about, what do we do now? Do you want to do? Oh, you do.
Yeah.
You do this. Right? It was flipping brilliant. It was really, really good.
I was watching from the wings towards the end, getting ready to
curfew job.
Yeah, because we got very close. There was this moment, but backstage, that I came up to see Tie Off, and before that, Gaz and Steve are both backstage waiting, and Gaz was like, "How long have we got?" And I said, "Well, curfew's at 10:30, and it's now 9:45." I reckon if we get Tie Off quickly here, you can get both of those in and finish. And they finished at 10:32.
Yeah,
I think so. It was skin of the teeth stuff, but it wasn't an issue. So we got the sets in, and it was brilliant. And the crowd loved it, and they loved it, and it was a great way for them, I guess, hopefully to start the tour.
What made me laugh was the little old ladies taking the posters off the walls and then getting us all to sign them. I thought, so yeah, I can't walk around Dawlish anymore.
I know, right? Yeah, it's great.
Is modular something that Steve Davis has always been into, or is it something that he got into after he finished with snooker?
It was COVID.
He was DJing first, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was DJing then in COVID. He started getting into modular.
Yeah,
And
He's still
it's
in-
just extraordinary.
Yeah.
He
Still
and Gaz
does.
together.
Yeah, it was great.
Just
but they
an
both,
extraordinary
because
pairing.
Gaz
Gaz wasn't really into it either.
He didn't really get into until lockdown, and they kind of grew their kind of passion for it together, communicating, as they did. And of course, Steve is part of Utopia Strong, which is a similar sort of modular act. And yeah, it's just kind of snowballed from there. They've got this record label, and they're building a bit of a following, which is really cool. And the thing that when Peter and I were talking about this, and Peter said, I think we should do a live gig, and I said, I think we should, and I'm not taking full credit for this, but I remember saying, I think that the artists we have should be our community.
Yeah, diverse
rather
as
than,
it is.
and not no disrespect to Robin and Electronic Sound, who get in decent names, like Scanner and Cabaret Voltaire, and we couldn't attract those sorts of people. Not on our first
one.
But we were quite insistent from the outset that the people we wanted to perform were people from our community, people we know, people we interact with on a daily basis online. We want to give them a platform, and it worked. And that's the bit I think I'm probably most happy about, is that show really, really worked. And
so next year, Jason, you're going to have to make sure your car's okay.
I think by that point I'll have a new car.
Yeah.
Anybody want to buy a Volvo?
But there's some great shots here. That's Pete Catley, by the way,
with his winnings.
Ian just behind him. He won the evening raffle, so he got Synth Stack 6.
Nice.
So there's lots of crowd shots there. There's the guy,
It was Robin Vincent.
Robin Vincent. Yeah, he's just there in the middle, or just to the left of the middle.
We had a good crowd there, didn't we?
Very good crowd. And it's a lovely little venue, and the sound
perfect.
was superb. So yeah, it was.
Dom
it was
just
great.
says yes to everything. I ask him. He's great.
Yeah.
Can we do this? Yeah.
He was like
I asked
backstage.
I
he
asked
was-
him for feeds for the camera, audio
Yeah.
feeds for the camera from the desk,
Right.
and I had a wrong cable. I had a female and a male, which the sex was wrong, and just said there's no problem. And he went and put this thing together and then just gave it to me. Nothing with too much trouble. He was absolutely brilliant.
He did the wedding for Rick Wakeman's son at Powdram Castle. So he's
Oliver or
Oliver,
Adam?
yeah.
Oliver, yeah,
Well, one of them. Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah, he was coming up backstage and first of all asking if everything was okay. And we're like, this is more than okay. And then he was coming up with ideas. He's
He's
next
well.
year,
He's
next
part
year
of
we're
it
gonna
now.
have cameras. We're going to have cameras looking down at the top, and we get top-down views, and we'll project them on the back of the thing. And he's like, okay, yeah. So next year we're having cameras. Yeah, so there it was. I mean, that was Synth Southwest, and yeah, we shut up shop at the theatre. Everyone was out, and we went home, or back to
We
ours.
went to the pub after the theatre for a very. I don't think you made it,
No,
Robbie.
no, I didn't. We
didn't.
went straight back because we were just.
I managed.
I left all my kit in the theatre. Thought, bugger that. I'll go and get it Monday.
And of course, we met up in the morning.
Yeah, we had. Yeah, Reflections Bistro.
Nice, lovely breakfast.
Yeah, she does this proud in there.
Reflections. Yeah, so she was quite surprised. She, where are you all coming from? So, yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it's
great.
usually just me.
It was
So
all
yeah, I
very,
think we've
very
proved the concept, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. So
I think, and I think the nicest thing about it, if the whole event from Friday onwards, right through until we all left, it felt like a great big PSN electronic music community hug.
family thing, wasn't it? Yeah,
yeah,
A hug. It was brilliant.
yeah.
No one
yeah,
missed. No one missed Scott though.
Oh, that's just natural.
I miss
maybe if we can sort
Thanks, Jason.
buddy.
if we can get.
Thanks.
I mean, obviously, Kent will just have to be remote unless we can. I don't know.
Oh, we could always kidnap him.
We do a Mr. T.
Yeah.
Put
Stick him
something
in the back of
milk.
a white van.
Can we get his
Got to
head
come
on a
next year.
screen like a telly and then put a body underneath him and have him in a chair?
Yeah, yeah.
So it
Have
actually
you ever-
look like he's actually there, just like this
Yeah.
screen.
I mean,
a bit like
You could try, but have you ever tried putting a raccoon down your pants and hoping for the best?
oh, funny
Actually,
you should
I have.
mention
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Do it
Like,
every
right
Friday
passage
night.
for a Welshman.
Matt has just sent me. This is Matt Lincoln, aka Bossage247, has just sent me something that
Who, Robert?
will fill the gap that I so terribly left open. Bear with me a second, people. I just need to upload this to the system. There it is. Because we couldn't not show. We showed all the other performers. We couldn't not show.
Oh yeah, I did do it on his.
Yay.
There it is.
Hey.
On stage,
a
doing his
TSR2
thing.
in the
That's,
background.
TSR2 at the back.
And
yeah,
the
that
little
was-
bumblebee from Ellis put the bumblebee down
Oh,
by my
yes.
tripod.
Yeah, yeah.
She was great
Oh,
on the
must-
door, by the way, as well.
I was going to say,
Gotta thank
yeah,
her.
is she your niece?
Ellis is my granddaughter and her friend
Granddaughter.
Maddie. Yeah.
That's it. So they were great on the door, along with Sarah as well.
They weren't gonna let anybody
man
in.
that. Yeah,
A few people got past them on the other door, but
yeah. Well,
And
that's
being
another.
s-
See, we learned. Yeah.
yeah.
Being serious, next year, because we are going to do this again, I'm sure, we should get Scott to come along and do a set. If you're up for
Yes,
it.
Scott. You've been warned.
Seriously.
You can get the train down to London, then out to
Look at
Dawlish.
the enthusiasm pouring off him.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you'd frozen then for a minute. I thought you'd frozen the man.
He has. He's frozen with fear.
Yeah, an enthusiasm waterfall.
That's called stage fright.
Pip was berating me at the end of the show, saying I should do something.
Yeah.
So maybe I will.
Come on.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah. Well, I have been
do that.
slightly inspired over the last sort of 24 hours, which I guess is a nice little segue. Synth Southwest, everyone.
are we
Let's
bridging?
see what you
Keep
did
bridging.
there.
Yeah. So that's our Synth Southwest coverage.
Segment
We
covered.
we will be releasing the video from the live event. We're going to do it. We haven't sort of fully decided exactly how we're going to divvy it up, but it will be all available publicly at some point. But I think we're going to make like maybe the whole hour. No, it's probably like 2.5 hours, isn't it?
3 hours.
It'd be
almost.
nice to get the intros and things because that makes
Yeah,
it
yeah.
all Yeah.
But they will also do like segmented, so you can, if you want to
Yeah,
go and watch one set, you can go with that. So we'll
Yeah.
probably make some of that exclusive on the Patreon page for maybe the first month or so, and then eventually it'll all be available on the channel. So we'll get that up as soon as possible. That little segue was, somebody said, "Oh, you should do something next year," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I can do that." But I have been inspired because the only kind of real sort of major news this week, and it's bloody everywhere, it's blown up, and congratulations to Akai Professional for doing this, is this thing. It's the Akai MPC sample, which dropped on Tuesday and has caused a heck of a stir. If you've not seen this, well, where have you been? Because this has been like everywhere.
Media blackout. Yeah, they've kind of overdone it a bit, really.
Yeah, but it's a popular thing. If you don't know what the Akai MPC sample is, here is a little video to let you know.
The hustle is all I know, the only thing I got time for.
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
mean
you
to do
stopped.
that.
Oh,
The hustle is all I know, the only thing I got time for.
I go hard like it's tenfold, paying me back. Problematic when I hit automatic. It's
So there you go. That was the slightly extended remix version of that promo. I'm
You did
sure
a
Akai
rewind,
won't mind.
Bob.
Yeah, you can't do anything like
Rewind.
So anyway, it's been everywhere, and it's this wonderful thing. Now I bought 2 of these, but not deliberately.
each
Well,
hand.
kind of
Side
deliberately.
of your head. You do know they sample in stereo, don't you?
I know, right? Yeah.
Didn't need to.
So
Yeah, but you wanted quadraphonic.
Oh, now you're talking. Round sound. Brought
So
to you by
the
Sample.
embargo was 2 p.m. UK time on Tuesday, but Amazon didn't observe the embargo, so they put them on sale first thing on Tuesday morning. I'm like, oh, okay. I know this is going to be popular, and maybe there might not be. If they say they can deliver it to me, so I bought it on Amazon, but wanted to buy it from a proper retailer. I got mine from Anderton's because I got loyalty points there, so it all adds up. And so 2 o'clock comes along, and I go to Anderton's, and they've got it, and it's 99p cheaper. But I still get my loyalty stuff, so I bought it from Anderton's and went to Amazon to cancel. Sorry, sir, it's too late to cancel your order, so I had to send it back. So it got delivered. I had 2 delivered on Wednesday, and so I sent the other one back, and that's hopefully being refunded.
I know, Andrew. You should have sent the other one to you, shouldn't you? Don't cry.
Well, yeah, I did ask my son if he wanted it, and then when he said how much, and I told him, he said, "Oh no, sorry," and I'm not that generous of a father. So anyway, no, it's brilliant. I have to say, so I've got props, everyone. I've got props. So I had the original battery operated portable Akai MPC, which is the MPC 500.
Yeah, I used to have
which
one of them.
for the life of me, I never managed to get my head around because you've got a 2-line character screen there, and you're trying to chop samples and do it. I just couldn't get my head around it. I even expanded. I got the 128 meg expansion in there as well, the 2 gigabyte CF card, and I just couldn't.
Compact Flash, remember that?
I know, right? Couldn't get my head around it. But I've always loved the concept of this kind of small portable production centre, so much so that, you know, I've got loads of the bloody things. I've got the Sonicware side drums, and I've got the Sonicware sample trek, and I've got the Sonicware Lo-Fi 12, which are all very good things, but again, never fully really gelled with them. And then I got this, which is a brilliant little piece of kit.
Oh, the
But
black box.
it has its kind of drawbacks. It's not as maybe as tactile as. And then I bought one of those and thought, oh, maybe that's the thing. And whilst I like it,
Box off.
it's yeah. There you go. So when I found out about this, I thought I'm having one of those, and hopefully this will be the one that makes me get the MPC paradigm, because it's never really fully worked in my head. For me, I see people doing wonderful things. I worked for Akai and Alesis for a few years with sample library content, and I had an MPC 1000, I had the MPC 500. I just couldn't get my head around it. Just wouldn't work for me. So I was a little bit kind of trepidatious when this came. But I kind of, when I read about it and saw it demoed, I thought, I think this might be the one. And I've not been off it since it arrived on Wednesday. It's just constant sampling anything and everything and just messing around with it. And I think that given that somebody wants me to do something next year at Synth Southwest, maybe this will be the starting point. This will be the thing, because I did this with it today. I thought, I remember that the Astrolab 37, all the Astrolabs, have a 5-volt USB host port on the back. And so I set this up, and I thought, I wonder if the Astrolab can power the MPC sample. Answer, yes. Then, can I send the audio from one to the other so I don't have to have 2 sets? Answer, yes. You take the audio out from the Astrolab, you put it into the back of the MPC, you turn the monitoring on, and you hear it. And away you go. And then you can MIDI connect them up as well. Albeit the MPC sample the pads only transmit on one MIDI channel, so you can only really effectively control one instrument from it. But that's not really the point. I want to play stuff in and sample it. But to have that keyboard with all of those synth engines and all of those sounds, and then an MPC next to it, and all running off a single power supply with a single audio output, be it headphones or some sort of stereo out. That's a massively powerful little mini beat making rig. Yeah. So it's incredible.
It's almost one of these, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. It could exactly do that. Exactly that. So my personal review of this is it's bloody brilliant. Go and get one.
Well, they're sold out now.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Amazon will have one back soon, because I think it arrived this evening.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, we can have your
on
one.
Amazon.
Already sold out.
Your
I can't believe that a fellow PSNer had 2 and didn't think to reach out to see if anyone else apart from his son would want it.
His son. Hard work his son did at Synth Southwest as well.
I know.
I know.
Don't make me feel bad. Don't make me feel bad.
Keep going. You get milk it.
Yeah. See, I'm how they call frugal, and I thought if I sell it to someone, they'll have to pay postage. They can probably get it cheaper, because free delivery from pretty much everywhere on these things. See, it would have cost you more.
But 339 quid, you just can't go wrong.
And that's like 339 quid for something that has. So spec-wise, it's got 2 gig of RAM, 8 gig of internal storage, plus an SD card slot that you can put anything up to 1 terabyte in. It does disk streaming, so internal disk streaming. So you're not necessarily having to load up the RAM. It can sample. It's got 32 polyphonic voices, stereo polyphonic voices. It's can take up to 96K, 2496 in samples. It can handle WAVs, AIFs, MP3s, OGGs, all of that kind of stuff. You can upload into there. You can power connect it up or connect it via USB to a computer and transfer things over manually. It has a built-in battery that lasts for about 5 hours, and I've tested that, and it does kind of for around 5 hours.
Amazing.
The pads are polyphonic aftertouch as well as velocity, and they're lovely. Unlike the old Akai stuff, it's really nice. They're smaller, but they're nice.
Perfectly formed.
And it's this lovely colour screen that is not too small. It's just about right. And very little menu diving stuff. Everything is just like, there's a shift function, and then like every button has 2 functions. And very quickly you can pick that up, and away you go. Stereo in, stereo out, headphone socket, USB-C, MIDI 3.5 in and out. Plus it's also got the sync out as well, so you can hook that up and synchronize it. Volume gain for the input as well. One of the great things about this, I plugged my mobile phone in, and I wanted to sample a piece of music, and you just plug it in and press sample and press play, boom, that's it. I mean, it's so simple.
So it does its own arming and everything, right?
Yeah. And you can, if you want to sample an instrument, so I've called up as they showed in one of the demo videos, I called up the Moog, Mini Moog app on my iPhone, and was able to sample that straight, or play the thing from there. It's so simple, and they really have simplified the whole process, brought it back down to that that kind of original simplicity of the MPC 60s and stuff.
Has it got a built-in mic as well for outside?
It has got a built-in microphone and a built-in speaker, although the speaker it's a small thing, so don't.
But you can walk around with it and get samples.
Is it a mono or a stereo mic?
I believe it's mono.
Mono.
Yeah, because it's just like 4 holes in the casing, so it's just a little.
Right. Okay.
But for capturing ideas.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's perfect. And I remember when Sonicware brought out this sample tray, because that was originally a Kickstarter project, and I thought, at last somebody's got the nous to create a portable sampler that's powerful but also battery operated, and you can take it out and about and do. And I've been crying out for something. I remember talking to Ben Simpson about this years ago, because we both got S6000s, and I said, if somebody could produce a portable sampler the same dimensions as the front detachable panel off an Akai S6000, they're onto a winner.
Virtually done it.
Hello.
There you go.
It's so good, and it's so simple, and I can't say. Anybody else got any opinions on this? Kent, what do you think? I mean, you don't do boxes. You famously don't do boxes, but have you been tempted by this? Short answer.
I'm wary of any musical instrument that if you're using it on a train, for instance, and to everybody sitting behind you look like you're wanking to the see it say it fucking sort it poster. Well, getting in like this at the back. So I don't know. Probably. I can see the appeal of this, because I mean, compared to the MPC-X, this seems to be very sort of like cut down straightforward.
This is nothing like it.
Yeah.
Lots of people are saying that if you put this up against like the MPC Live 3 or the MPC XL, the new one, it's minimal by comparison. It doesn't have any of those complicated features. Good. But that's the thing. It doesn't have any of those complicated features.
I might get one and just try it out, because it's not like a huge wedge of money, is it?
You get it, Ken. When you're fed up with it, I'll buy it off you.
Yeah, that kind of. We can do that. Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Peter, you could just do what the Hand of Linen just said there, because he says if you wait for 6 or 7 weeks, Robbie's return will be in a box that somebody will just buy randomly.
Yeah.
One of those pallet jobs.
Yeah.
That would be a boost if you found that in there, wouldn't it?
I mean, not only has it got just like that simple, straightforward sampling, that the chop functionality, that was the one thing I always struggled with on a machine that didn't have a decent display. I like to see my chop lines. I'm a recycle guy, so I like to see my chop lines. This thing does it for you, or you can do it yourself, or a combination of both. You can mess around manually, let it do its automatic thing, and then go in and tweak it. But it's got things like, it's got the flex beat effects, which are great little performance effects. You know, you've got like 11 or 12 of these different effects, and you just drop them in, and it just does its little thing and just makes, you know, breaks things up, breaks the flow up a little bit in a nice way. But you've also got low pass filters, high pass, band pass. You've got tape distortion, vinyl distortion, all the things that you could possibly want to just like dirty things up. There's a lovely compressor in there as well to really kind of boost the bits you want to boost. It's just so intuitive. It's so much fun, and I can see exactly why people are complaining that it is everywhere at the moment, because it is, and it's there for a reason.
Oh, they paid everyone to do that.
Well, some, yeah. I mean, I
think they sent out and said, "You do this day, you do this day, you do this day."
Yeah.
They've like basically flawed it rather than doing what they normally do, which is to send it NDA. You release it on this time. I think they've been a bit more. And
the leak
structured.
wasn't. I think the leak was probably.
I would think now most definitely a pre.
You've got to handle it in music, though, haven't you? You really have, because they have turned them around.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Well, they've got...
I mean, I did ask for a review unit, but I got told very quickly that there weren't any left to go around, which is, you know, basically no, you're not good enough. But I said, okay, I'm going to buy one anyway, so I did, and I bought one on day one. I was very lucky, you know, by the sounds of it, to get one. But it's a great deal. It really is. What do you reckon, Scott? Any thoughts?
I like it. I like it. Yeah. Even just to use as just a simple little drum machine, I think it would be great for that, just to load that thing up with drum samples, because you're basically talking, it's back to the sort of DR660 size of a drum machine, you know?
Yeah.
And it's seriously powerful as well. I'm assuming you can multi-sample and things in it as well. Can you do? No.
But you can take. So it's not that powerful, but you know, you can take a sample, a single note, and then stick it on 16 levels, and it will chromatically scale it over the pads. That
right?
way.
Okay, yeah.
But you can't go and say take, you know, a sample every minor third and then just
hit it over certain velocities or anything. You can't do that.
That's not what it's for. But
it's very, very cool though. It is. It's a great little thing. I think it's going to sell by the bucket load for sure.
It already has, I think. Yeah. It's crazy. They're going to. I mean, it makes me wonder whether. I mean, I saw an interview with Andy Mack, who I'd love to get on the show. And
he's a hell of a salesman, isn't he?
Oh, he's brilliant. And I saw an interview where they said, "Oh, is this kind of your response to what Teenage Engineering did with the KOs and what other people have done?" He said, "No, actually, this has been in development for some while. Now, I don't know how much of that is just marketing speak and how much is actually true, but it's almost like that kind of thing that Apple do." That other companies do stuff, you know, like, you know, the Android stuff, and then Apple just come and say, okay, yeah, all right, we're going to do that, but we're just going to do it better. And I think that's what they've done with this. I think, for me anyway, my head getting around this was just almost instantaneous. I couldn't believe it, really.
Well, I think with this, they're late to the party. Everyone else has got this out way in advance, so I guess they're either playing catch up, or they're going to have to wait and do it so much better than everyone else that it's what it is. And I don't know. I haven't played with one yet. I haven't seen one, so I couldn't comment. But I wonder if that's the logic behind, you know, why it's been in development for so long. Is because they had to get it right. They can't get. I mean, it's Akai. They can't get this wrong. This is their thing.
They've already.
And everyone else has done it now. They've dropped. Yeah. I don't know about dropping the ball, because I mean they've had their difficulties over the years, right? So. And they, you know, went all sorts of different directions with various bigger, more powerful MPCs that are supposed to do everything. The XL, notwithstanding, now being exactly, you know, the culmination of that. But this again strips it back down to what they were good at. I mean, the MPC 60 was a Lin drum, wasn't it? Mark IV, really.
Yeah. It was an improvement on the Lin 9000. Yeah.
So, you know, we shall see.
It's right. I mean, because Akai, they just owned this field for so many years, and then obviously with the Japanese company going bust, and In Music buying them up, there was a period when they kind of just lost their way, and dedicated standalone MPCs disappeared because Machina had come along, for example. You know, Native Instruments Machina has just come in and said, this is how you do it. This is, you know, in the 21st century, and they started wiping the floor. And then eventually Akai came back with, you know, a standalone MPC that was pretty good. It wasn't perfect, but it was pretty good. And over the years, each iteration has got better and better. And that, you know, the MPC Live 3, which I know Ian Cole has got, with its, you know, polyphonic aftertouch pads that have also, you know, you can move your finger over them, that, you know, you can slide and get different effects just on the pad alone. I mean, they've really nailed that. And yeah, but this is it strips away all of that kind of the fancy stuff and gives you enough for you to get really into it very quickly, but also enough to make it sound really good, not just basic. You know, this really does nail it.
What's the maximum sample length you can have in it, Rob? Do you know? Is there a limit?
20 minutes per pad.
Wow.
That's an album on one pad then. Yeah, there's your live set sorted out, Rob.
Yeah. I was messing
How many
around.
songs are you playing, Rob? 3. 1.
Yeah. 1, 2. Yeah. But so you know the break from the Labby Cifra song that was then used by Dre and Eminem for My Name Is, that wonderful little Rhodes piano hook that was played by anyone? Do you know who played that on the Labby Cifra track? Chaz and Dave.
No.
Of course he did.
That was Chaz and Dave. That bass line and that Rhodes piano line. I can't remember who was on drums. It might have been the guy out of the Blockheads. But anyway,
That's a great album.
Yeah.
So I sampled that break. I thought, you know, I'll do what Dre did. I'll see if I can just, you know, do that. And I pressed go, and of course that break, if you listen to it, it goes on and builds ever so slowly, and then the strings come in. It's gorgeous. It's a fantastic piece. You can see why it got sampled. And I'm sat here thinking, oh, it's still going, and it could have gone for another like 15 odd minutes because I just basically sampled half a song. Then you got the sample. You're just like, okay, well, I only want this bit, and within 20 seconds, I just got my 8 bars, and it was no messing around with like fine tuning. It just kind of locked into the beats, trimmed the sample. There it was. I could then assign it to different pads and away I go and put all the effects on it and stuff.
I'm going to randomly drop a really fascinating fact about Eminem into the conversation now, because this is something I found out yesterday.
Oh,
he is the great 33rd great grandson of Rodri Mawr, the ruler of Gwynedd from the 9th century. He's Welsh royalty. Eminem.
wow.
One of ours. Cymru Ambith.
There you go.
How amazing
Come
is
here
that?
for the synth. Stay
Can
for
the,
the
re-
education.
can the real Jet Jarvis please stand up?
Boy, boy.
Right you are. See those 2 houses? Mine's is the one in the middle.
The funny thing
Oh dear. Yeah.
is, like that. There you go. Fact.
There you go. Fantastic.
Just shady
No,
fact.
it's just so much fun, and it's gonna do gangbusters. It really is.
So
Slim leaky.
I haven't had to get this yet. I did the beta and was the first person to take out the MPC 60 on a big live tour back in the 80s, and we did that with S900s to do sampling as well as, you know, using the MPC. And I remember for years I was working with reggae acts. I ended up working with a lot of R&B, and then moved on into house, doing a lot of work as a house producer for a while for Rhythm King. And the way people were using it, the way they were sampling and what they were sampling and how they were doing it, was a very particular way of creating music that no one had done before. You didn't do that. For some reason, you just didn't do it with even with the SP 1200s and whatever. It just wasn't the same thing. And it was always really quick on the MPC 60 and the 900s. The difference was there was that tiny little display, right? And recently, I've been doing a lot more making of music, which I hadn't done for years. And the part I find the biggest pain is sampling and or drums. I find it's just kind of, I'll just put 4 bars in, then let it repeat, and that will do. And it's so I've been looking at other ways of doing this. And like Kent, the funds are a little missing at the moment, although they're getting topped up on the 1st of April, so I'll be good. I'm going to be buying one of these just because it does everything I love about this kind of platform, which is it allows me to quickly assemble some stuff, play around, sample some stuff in resample with effects on everything that I've got so far, and then bring that into the door, so I can bring it ready to go. And I've also got the key stage here now, so key stage and that possibly the ELZ1 Play. That's an entire system, and I know it's going to allow me to put together much more evocative backing tracks for the kind of stuff I'm doing. And it's 339 quid.
Yeah.
You know, it's nuts with polyphonic aftertouch.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, you mentioned
nuts.
resampling. Of course, this can resample, so you can create a beat, a break, or whatever the kids call it these days, with all of the effects. And I know that you can only apply. It's limited in some ways. You can't apply too much to anything else, but you can do all of that and then resample that and then just stick that under one pad and then crack on and do something else and link it all up later on. It's efficient and it's clever and it's simple, yet it still retains some decent capability to it. I'm deeply impressed with it, and best £339 I've spent in a very long time.
And I think, like you, Robbie, I've got lots and lots of modules, or little boxes from Sonicware and whoever else, all of which I thought promised a way of creating music that I was really into, which is remote, not in the door, just sitting on your lap on the sofa or whatever. Almost none of them deliver it in the way that they work, but they don't give you a complete something. It's almost like they're toys, or fascinators for a while. This isn't. This is. You can start from here and just get going. It's a wonderful
I was really
thing.
hoping that when this thing came out, the sample track, that this would sate my appetite for an all-in-one kind of instruments groove box, portable, compact. You can hold it in it feels like a large Game Boy, really. And whilst it's very good, and I do enjoy it a lot, that the screen is a little bit too small, I think. I can read what's on there, but it's just the feedback you get from it, and the feedback you get on the MPC sample, because it's probably twice the size of that sample track screen. The amount of feedback you get from it is so much better and makes things so much easier to understand what's going on. I always struggled with just the whole paradigm of this, and I never thought I would actually get excited about an MPC.
But the workflow. I mean, I've not got one, so but I remember the MPC 60, and the display was the one thing that made you go, yeah. The workflow on this is probably, from what I've seen, is probably the best straight up and running. Thank you very much. Start making music now of anything that's out there.
Yeah,
at this price.
I mean,
interesting. I know
any and all of these things. Any and all of these things, you have to use it. You have to play with it. You have to, and I think it's as you both said. There's so many things that promise this, and I think it's personal. I think we all make music in such a way. I would never have thought that this thing would have resonated with me, because it's got no screen. It's very basic looking, but geez, I can't make music without it. Yeah. It's resonated with me, and I would never have thought that. So having something, and I was lucky enough to have that gifted to me by Innovation after reviewing it for Timon. So, I think with the MPC, I mean, if you've not come from an MPC background, Robbie, you've got a 500, but do you know what I mean?
But I never got on
different.
with it.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is going to be different, and I think that's the same for you as well. And you'll have to just get one, play with it, and then sell it to Peter.
And I think quite a few people have said, look, it's ubiquitous now. Everyone's going to have one. That doesn't matter. Most everyone owns an acoustic guitar or a piano or something. It's if it works for you, that's it. That's all that matters. If it works for you and helps you create music,
And the only way you're gonna find out is by playing with it.
Yeah, it's the same with doors. You know, people will ask pretty much anyone in this conversation, "Oh, what would you recommend as the best door?" Yeah. And you know, you've got a favourite, I've got a favourite, we've all got a favourite. They're all different.
They're all
You know,
different.
Kent is deeply into Cubase.
Yeah.
I'm deeply into Reason, but I will use Logic.
I'm into Logic deeply.
Yeah, but
I'm deeply
you
into
can't-
Cakewalk or into Sonar still. I
Yeah.
love Sonar.
I thought you were away to say I'm deeply into cake.
Cake. But the thing is, if I go to someone and say you need Reason, you know, you've got to have Reason, or Peter says you've got to have Logic, they might go away and find that is the one for them, but the chances are more great that it won't be their one, and you've got to try them all.
You do, yeah.
Get the
You
different
definitely
ones.
do.
It's
The thing is,
difficult
I
with hardware.
love Ableton for like a quick sketch pad.
Yeah.
I think Ableton's great for that, but when it comes to mixing in Ableton, I find it too much of a footer. So
That's Chinese to me.
and whereas Logic, when I see it in Logic, it's blatantly obvious
have
what
the
you're
original
actually
on
trying
the
to do.
Atari,
Your
so-
grouping and summing tracks and all that is so much different.
But it's finding
It's
the
just
thing that clicks with you.
It is 100%.
And it's not easy to do with hardware, and it's even harder now because we don't have the shops that we can go into like we used to.
Hence the festivals.
Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, I watched a lot of videos about this, and I was lucky to be able to watch Andy Mack's 20-minute long intro that he did for Akai. That is now on their YouTube channel. I got to watch that a few weeks ago, so I've had a bit of time to kind of understand how it works. And Andy obviously is an absolute pro.
Yeah.
And there are times when he kind of, what did you do there? So you have to go back but from that video, I was pretty convinced that if I got one, I would, click with it, and I did. So yeah, fingers crossed, it will become a.
That would actually be quite a good stand to have at a Dawlish, one of your Synth Southwest.
All the different doors.
Would it be all the different sequencing options? Yeah.
Dawlish.
Dawlish.
Ooh.
So
that sounds like another event.
Or if it was in Wales, it'd be Dawlash. Nash. What's this?
I've got complete control over this. Is that the Create Audio thing?
No, it isn't.
Right. If it was, I had to go with one at the weekend because we had one in Dawlish. Robin brought one, so it's.
I mean, he's
first
done
for Dawlish.
He did it. He had it out in I think
Easy.
Netflix for the Synth and Pedal Expo. But I mean, obviously, he showed it in a Sonic State, and then I showed it on my show, and then I interviewed Richard Nickel, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I saw you pulling it out and showing him the back of it." Sorry.
I'm sure he won't mind. But no, that looked really, really good. I just didn't have enough. I completely forgot to go back and play with it.
I'm excited. I'm going to be excited to do something serious with that.
Yeah.
I've got to make some content. That's it.
Absolutely. Got to justify that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. MPC sample, everyone. It's available to buy. I don't know whether you'll actually get one, but most of your music retailers, wherever you might be, should be getting more stock in. This is going to be everywhere. I'm certain of it. But
There's some B stock on Amazon at the moment.
Yeah.
You keep
I didn't
saying
even
that.
open the one, so it
Let's
shouldn't
have
be
a look.
sold as B stock because it's still sealed. So, anyway, I need to acknowledge a whole bunch of people who tonight have been sending in their hard-earned cash. So let's start off with Hand of Lenin. Thank you very much, mate, for your $1.99. It is deeply appreciated, as always. Thank you very much indeed. My Logify, I hope I pronounced that right, has gifted 5 memberships so I don't know who got those, but if you got one, thank my Logify. You can also thank Peter Toll, who of course was at Synth Southwest. Always lovely to see Peter. He's such a happy, creative fellow, so great to see him. And he came from our neck of the woods as well, so he had a long trip down. But he's gifted 10 memberships. Wow, it's a competition. Tanith VQ, buy yourselves a baby sham. I haven't had one of those in years. But thank you very much for your donation. It's deeply appreciated, as is this from icing the PSN birthday cake. Thank you for your 20 quid. That's great. Awesome stuff. Congratulations on avoiding bankruptcy for another year and for not looking a day older than you actually are. Shush, Kent, be sure to spend this on drink. Well, we'll make sure the bills get covered first, but thank you very much indeed. And Mike McAuley, thank you. Great to see you as always. We'll see you again in about 6 weeks' time in Berlin, but great to see you. Thanks ever so much for bringing Paul along and performing. And it was a pleasure.
Great
of course,
set.
you got the mayor all excited, so that was great.
When I left them, they went off sampling the rails, the noise that the train makes before it gets to the rail.
I love that sound.
Yeah, you get that charge, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
What noise was that, Rob?
I'm not going to do it again. I'll sample it and send it over. This was interesting from Ken, who would probably know a lot more about this stuff than I would. The system on the chip inside the MPC sample, from what he gathers, is the same as what's in the first generation Live 1, X and Force, which has already been hacked. Ooh. So we might get to see some interesting things happening with the MPC sample in terms of what people can do with it. My only criticism is the same as the one I had for the Waldorf protein, is that when you have it connected to USB for power, if you hook it up to your computer or a hub on your computer, you get
Silent Alchemist. Silent Alchemist by MyVolts. That's what you need.
Well, I've just bought a little isolator thing. So, but the thing is with the MPC sample, it's got a 5-hour battery life, rechargeable battery. So you probably shouldn't ever really need to be using
it on the battery.
Actually, I was watching a stream this morning. World Needs a Hero, and he had his on from yesterday for a couple of hours, and he did a stream over an hour, and it during the stream it cut out. The battery died, and he's like, "Oh no!" Literally, whilst he was making music. Plugged it back in, and this is a big thing. And you've lost nothing.
Yeah.
So you know, props.
Exactly that. Yeah. Because I when I did some sampling yesterday, I thought I was getting tired. I thought I can't be bothered to go through. I'm just going to turn it off. If I want it, I'll sample it again. Came in the next morning, turned it on. First sample that was loaded was the one that I'd finished on. So that's good. Little things like that just make a difference.
Exactly. Yeah, those are the things that we need in life.
Indeed.
That and cake.
Cake.
Walk.
Next week. Next week we've got some special guests. Why? Because there's a brand new synthesizer coming from Cherry Audio. That's all you're getting. It's coming on
Sounds
Tuesday.
Nice, though, eh?
It does. It's very nice.
ECOs, eh?
And this is, I don't think anyone's going to be able to guess this one. This is a tough one. They've been making them slightly easier to guess over the last sort of half a dozen releases. This one, I don't think so. I think people go, oh.
Are they not giving anything away with the colour?
No. Really. No, but it is close. It's good, and we've got Dan, we've got Mal, and we've got James Terrace joining us, and they will also, not only will they be telling us about this new instrument and the work behind it and what have you, they'll also be judging the contest that Andrew ran at Synth Southwest, where people were designing patches from scratch on a Mercury 8. We've sent all the entrants over, and they will pick a winner, and that winner will win a copy of SynthStack 6, which is a $600, £500 worth of all but one or two now Cherry Audio plugins. But yeah, it's a fantastic. We gave two away at the event. We had a raffle at the day event, and we had a raffle at the evening event. So two people went away with those. And a massive thank you. I know Robert's in the chat. Huge thank you to Cherry Audio for your support. Robert sent over a box full of T-shirts, stickers, and the licenses as well. It was just fantastic, and we sold a bunch of that stuff. Also, before I forget, Scott bought the very first one there. Before I forget, also a massive shout out and a thank you to Jeff Toman. So if you don't know who Jeff Toman is, he used to run a company called Custom Synth, and he would do custom synth jobs. He's customized the outsides of synthesizers to the rich, the famous, and the well-heeled. But he's retired now. But what he did kind of before he retired was he was making T-shirts. I've got loads of his T-shirts upstairs. But he printed up a whole bunch of tote bags, each of them with a different synth logo or a synth meme type thing on the thing. We sold a bunch of them. We've still got more of them. We'll be selling those at various places where we will be at. So Synthesized in Cambridge and Synth East and Synthfest UK if we're allowed to sell there. So massive thank you to Jeff Toman, and great to finally meet him in person. Which was really good. I think we've pretty much covered everything there. It was not bad. We've had 2 topics and we've managed to fill 2 hours, which is pretty good. So there you go. So next week, same time, same place, we will be here with the Cherry Audio guys. You'll all know what it is by then, and I'm sure you'll have loads of questions for Dan, Mal, and James as well. If you enter the sound into the Mercury 8 sound design competition, then make sure you tune in, because you could be chosen as a winner. I think Robert said they would also give some worthy mentions as well. So it won't be just the one person that's getting some plaudits next week. And I think that's pretty much it.
It is.
Kent, you busy weekend coming up? Anything happening?
Not really sure. Not really sure.
Because the weather's changing slightly, although it's not really the last couple of days.
Yeah.
We were very lucky, actually, weren't we?
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
So Mustang work this weekend?
Well, Fiona's gone down this rabbit hole. So and I can guarantee you now, she's downstairs on YouTube watching all these different auto paint videos.
Oh God!
And the last time I was anywhere near what she was doing, she's looking at I think it's candy bases with tinted lacquers.
Oh jeez.
And all this sort of thing. And I'm going, oh my God, fathers, this is just getting worse now. And she's looking at different kinds of chrome paint.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and some of them are, for want of a better word, shite. And some of them are absolutely brilliant, but the cost is
astronomical,
unbelievable. So so she's still deciding the colours and etc. So,
so you don't get to choose then?
Oh no, he just does the hard work.
No, I just do the work. Yeah.
Fair play.
Oh well.
Get on with it then.
She's doing all the designing.
Scott, you'll be finishing up or cracking onto your multi-poly banks?
Yes, I'll just be carrying on with the multi-poly over this weekend, and I think this will be quite a quick bank, actually. It's a great synth.
It's a brilliant
they're all
synth,
good synths to work on, you know. They've all kind of got their own little tweaks, but it's actually, I'm just feeling this one a little bit of a luxury because I've gone from 4 voices to 60.
Oh, there you go.
So it's like,
Run out of fingers, Scott.
Sorry?
You're going to run out of fingers, Scott.
I know, exactly.
Well, if you
Thankfully,
get
it's got 4 layers.
There's Polybrute 12 to your right-hand side there that you could...
That's me less than quartering the voices again, Rob.
Last year, isn't it, Polybrute 12?
I don't know. Anyway, thank you for that. Oh, look at that. Chris has just jumped in the show. We bigged you up earlier on, Chris.
We did.
Thanks ever so much for coming down
thanks,
with
Chris.
your brilliant stand.
And Chris, I didn't catch up with you. I really wanted to. I've got to get a couple of things from you, so I'll give you a tinkle at some point. It was great to see you there.
Yeah, indeed it was. Andrew, busy weekend coming up? Or?
Yeah, I've got a demo to finish off. An audio demo and a video audio demo for something. And and then prepping for some video that I'm shooting in June, July. Got to come up with some creative ideas, and I'm dry at the moment. I'm having one of those, I don't know, moments. I don't know, something.
And of course, you've got the whole live video from
Yes,
last
get
week.
on with that. Yep.
So,
What's that? I've got live video.
Working
Yeah. I've actually what I am going to do over the weekend on Sunday is I'm going to synchronise all the audio. That's a big job. 3.5 hours worth of lots and lots of tracks of audio to the video, which is
Gotta get the
6K
clap in.
at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
indeed,
So-
good stuff.
Yeah.
Peter, you're going to be putting your feet up this weekend. Me and Jack.
Sweet FA.
Yeah.
Good.
Don't blame you.
Deserved.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely deserved. Jason, you streaming at the weekend?
I'll be doing my usual Sunday, and I'll be playing with sequences in between taking a multi-tool to the base of the rear of my car to get to the fuel pump.
Oh, nice.
Nice, mate.
Don't forget to
Well,
sample
indeed.
it.
Oh, of course,
Are you,
yeah.
are you going anywhere near the exhaust?
I'll be exhausted by the end of it.
All right.
I've never heard so many euphemisms in one sentence.
I know. Crazy, isn't it?
I've got them all, Kent. Remember.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
and I will be probably sat on my sofa or sat here with my MPC, and I'm going to try and crack something out as a kind of as a demo. I was going to do stop it. Honestly, I was going to do.
You're the one picking the phrases.
That's true.
Ricky Gervais on a bloody one show.
I
aren't you,
know.
Ken?
So I was going to do a little comparison video, but I think I might overstretch myself with that one because I'd have to relearn what some of these boxes do. But it might be interesting to see if I can hook them up and have them all do something with the MPC being at the centre of it. But
So as I said, I've got a demo to do, an audio demo. So I'll be knocking one out over the weekend.
yeah, indeed,
Yeah.
you had to get one in.
And Robbie will be overstretching himself.
And on that note, massive thank you once again to everybody that came to Synth Southwest. It was amazing to see you all.
What it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a show if you didn't show up. So
Oh, no.
fantastic.
And,
You've given us
and
lots
guys,
to think
thank
about.
thank you to Robbie and to Pete for doing that, for organising it. It was spectacularly good, and it's laid a base for future shows. You did an amazing job. Thank you so much from everyone that came and from us that attended and did our bits. You did a stunning job. Thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank Peter for this. So, yeah, we've got lots of ideas for the next one. Might not be better, but it might not be bigger even, but it will be hopefully as good as with some different
Fulsome.
things. Yeah. Yes, fulsome indeed. But yeah, thank you for joining us tonight. Thanks for joining us at Synth Southwest. If you were there, if you're not, make sure you buy tickets for next year. And we'll be back same time, same place tomorrow, next week, where we've got the Cherry Audio guys on talking about their brand new synthesizer, which launches at 6 p.m. UK time on Tuesday, the 31st of March. So go and check their videos out. Subscribe to their channel. You can watch the premiere with a demonstration by Tim Shoebridge after the announcement has been made. And we'll be talking about that with the guys on the show next Friday. Until then, have a fantastic weekend. Lots of love to everyone. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
Nothing happened. No end credits.